yesterday, one of my best friends put her dog down. She had to say goodbye, and I was really, really heartbroken not to be able to see her one more time before that happened. Yesterday was a travel day. I had 2 flights to come back home, and it was a fantastic trip. I'm really happy I went out to Saskatoon. It's a cool city. Good morning, guys. It is 7:15 in the morning, and I have to be at the airport in about 4 hours. I am heading to Saskatoon for the first time. I'm gonna go see my boyfriend at work, and I'm gonna bring some books and see if I can get into some retail stores there. I'm super excited. Another reason I'm going is because WestJet effectively stole my money and told me it was gonna expire, so I needed to use some credits. So I was pretty emotional because when you're in airports, when you're sitting on planes, you have a lot of time to think, and I love mulling over big life thoughts, but that kept coming up. Emotion kept coming up. And so today I've been really thinking about the fine line between stoicism and holding yourself together and being able to emotionally vent what you're going through, emotionally process your experience. And it really is a fine line. I have had a few times in my life where I was super emotional in a public setting, and there is a certain level of intense vulnerability to that, and it's incredibly healing. Um, on the flip side of that, you want to be able to hold yourself together when it's absolutely necessary, like flying helicopters, like emergency services. You can't have somebody lose it when people's lives are at stake, when the situation is highly risky or dangerous. So there's a time and place to be completely stoic. But if you have gone through something or you're going through something, you're holding on to emotion, if you do have to stuff it back down inside temporarily, you want to be able to make sure that you actually vent that, process that at some point, because that's the only healthy way to deal with emotion. You have to let it have its presence in your life experience. That's how you process them in the healthiest way and move forward. I shed a few tears on the plane yesterday and in the airport, and that's what made me think about these past situations. When my dad passed, that was the first time that YVR had actually closed airspace temporarily to honor somebody. And they did a 3-man helicopter flyby, the missing man formation for my dad. And that was a hugely impactful moment for me. It was incredibly touching. It was devastating because we'd lost him. And so I think it was about a year later that I went to a Remembrance Day ceremony in Nelson, BC, and they did a missing man formation flyby. And there were hundreds of people there. They were all watching, and I just walked through them crying hard. And you know what? That is part of grief. That is just being comfortable enough with yourself and open enough to show people that it is okay to hurt. And it's okay to show that. It's okay to grieve somebody who's gone. And again, there's no timeline on healing, there's no timeline on that. One other time that is so hugely impactful in my life, or was so hugely impactful in my life, there was somebody who was a really close and special family friend. And he was there for every special occasion. He spoiled my brother and I like crazy by breaking all the rules that my parents had set, donuts and chips, and it was great. And he gave us everything. He gave us everything he had. And I didn't know until years later when I walked into his room that he lived in, that he lived pretty much in squalor. He gave us everything while he turned around and went home and lived in terrible conditions, and we didn't know. He always kept that secret. And so one day I brought him a slice of pizza because I knew where he lived, and he wasn't there. So I left it for him, but I saw how he lived, and I was devastated. I was gutted. And it was an incredibly beautiful
moving moment for me, because what I felt more than anything was absolute gratitude. It's hard to even convey gratitude. I guess I've never been so moved by anything, in terms of somebody's willingness to give the shirt off their back. What he had nothing else. He gave us everything. And so I left that downtown hotel that day, and I walked down the busy sidewalk crying, because it was such an opening, humbling, extremely humbling experience. And so remember, when you're processing emotion, you don't have to be ashamed of hurting. You don't have to be, it doesn't make you weak to have these moments. Like, yeah, again, you don't want to have these moments when they're so inopportune. But these experiences, when you let them move you to your core, they change you, and they give you a certain perspective and a deep appreciation for life and the people around you. And so that's what I want to invite you to today. Be present with everything. And if that means showing people around you vulnerability, then do it, because other people around you need to have permission as well to feel and know that they're safe with you, that they're safe, they can be safe with themselves and the people around them. We can all heal together. That is incredibly powerful and empowering. So remember that. Hold yourself together when you need to, but let it go at some point. Let go and let yourself feel and purge and heal, and underneath these emotions can come gratitude and appreciation and deep, like, foundation shifting perspective changes. And this is how we impact one another. We aren't supposed to go through this life numb. We're supposed to go through it healing like this, and it's messy, and it's hard. It's really hard. But let life open you. Let it open your heart, and once your heart opens, you purge all that emotion, and there's something beautiful underneath that. Peace, gratitude, love. But unless you let life and let yourself open you, you're not going to find that. There's gold in everything, even if it's through pain. So thank you for watching. I'm going to leave it on that note. Go feel something. And I'll talk to you guys real soon. Stay dangerous, stay human, keep training. I appreciate you.